I won't visit Dogland and run with the power pups. Got to love their style and how they never, ever, ever give up. Who loves dogs? Who loves dogs? We rise to any challenge, and no one here is average. We are the power pups. You know we'll ever, ever, ever give up. Dogs, dogs, you love dogs. Dogs, dogs, you love dogs.
Welcome back, adventurers. This is episode 8 of season 3. Things are about to branch out and take a deep dive.
They are? Tell me more, Hank.
Nope, no spoilers.
Oh, you know I love spoilers.
Okay, one little hint, but it's secret. Got it? Secret.
Secret? Oh, I see what you did there, Hank. Let's dive in. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Hey, Hank, may the forest be with you.
May the force be with us all.
Well, hello again, dear listeners. Today, we're not following along with Power Dog, Taffy, and the gang. I promise we'll pick back up with them soon. Today's tale is all about someone very special, smart, curious, and full of zip-zap zoom, Power Dog's cousin and Taffy's twin. That's right, Taffy. The day after the gang found that curious golden cone thingamajig at their very special little tree in their favorite park in Lictopolis, Taffy set off for the lush island of Hawaii with her auntie, yep, the one and only Mom Slice, who was headed on to Meowie to continue her investigative work with the fennec fox dogs. Taffy always had ocean science on the brain, and her flippers, paws, were ready for adventure. Because you see, Taffy is a top student at the Dogland Seas Institute, where she studies oceanography, which is a fancy word for understanding how the oceans and seas and everyone who lives in and around oceans and seas work. Taffy was also excited to see her best sea bud, the sea pup named Sealy, who had asked if she would join him in exploring the fairly new mangrove forests outside of Dogger Falls. These forests had mysteriously grown almost overnight, thanks, it seems, to the arrival of their peculiar alien friends from beyond the stars, the Abbas. Taffy knew them quite well, especially Babah Lava Buttabuh, the kind and gassy alien who loved eating lava and singing songs that sounded like wind chimes and toots underwater. The sun was still high in the sky when the first day of school came to an end at the Dogland Seas Institute. The air was warm, the scent of salt water mixed with the fresh tang of kelp. It had been a full day, introductions, lectures, and a whole lot of new faces in the oceanography department's tide pools and seabed classrooms. Global Dogland nap time was observed in hammocks and warm pools of water for the sea dogs. When Taffy woke up from her nap in a lovely hammock in the shade, her mind was swimming in a sea of information, and she was so excited to have returned to her favorite place. And Sealy was no different. His energy was palpable. She could tell he was ready for any adventure. "We made it," Sealy said with a relieved flipper paw slap. "I can't believe we already have our assignments. I'm so pumped. I get to study the new mangrove forests of Dogger Falls all year long. They are my happy place." Taffy grinned at Sealy's enthusiasm. She had always been inspired by his blend of work ethic and passion. He'd been enthralled by those mysterious new mangroves since they had first appeared. The Abbas appeared to be affecting the ecosystem of Dogger Falls, and Sealy thought it was cooler than cool to get to observe the changes. You probably remember that ecosystem is a fantastic word that means everything living and even non-living in a particular place. And I love this word because the context is to have us imagine the way everything works together: plants, animals, rocks, and dirt, and even the little things that float around in the air that you can't see. In the short time that this lava-eating alien family had been on Dogland, taking care of Hawufi and Meowy's volcano problem, the Dogger Falls ecosystem was changing. New vegetation and growth were coming up at an unbelievably fast rate, and this beautiful new mangrove forest had formed. Mangroves are groups of trees that live in a type of ecosystem called the coastal intertidal zone. We have mangrove forests here on Earth, too. In fact, we have about 80 different types of mangrove trees. Isn't that cool? Along the coastline outside of Dogger Falls, giant ferns and mossy trees seem to have sprung up almost out of nowhere, looking as if they had been there for 100 years rather than so many months. Sealy was now determined to document every leaf, twig, and saltwater puddle. For Taffy, the ocean's mysteries stretched far beyond those new trees. The mangroves are really cool, and I am so glad I will learn all about them from and with you, Sealy. She scanned the horizon. I'm excited to be diving into something a little more colorful. She would be studying the coral forest just off the opposite coast of Hawufi, where the water was clear and very deep. Sealy looked over at her, eyes twinkling. You really want to tackle that? You know the coral forests are massive and also not forests, technically. It'd take a whole team of pups to map them all. Taffy nodded, her tail swishing. They're full of life and they're so beautiful. I think it's a challenge I'm up for. Plus, I've always wanted to see the coral's patterns up close. The way they glow at night, too. Magic. Sealy chuckled. Okay, all right. You can count me in, steady buddy. But can we head for the mangroves today? I'll let you borrow my special light filters to see how the corals glow under the moonlight if we could go tomorrow night. Taffy beamed at her best friend and nodded. Bet! Let's swim out to Dogger Falls and we can say howdy to Babah, too. Taffy unzipped her waterproof snack pouch and offered Sealy some crispy seaweed kibble. Sealy wagged his flipper tail and nudged over a mangrove munchie, which is a chewy root veggie stick packed with kelp and a hint of fishy flavor. I could chew on these all day, said Taffy, chomping happily. They taste like sunshine, sea air, and yummy, icky, gooey, grimy goo. Sealy giggled. Yeah, but have you ever had a flipper fizzy with a deep sea sand biscuit? He pulled out a soft, sandy biscuit, sprinkled kelp energy drink powder on it, gave it a theatrical sniff, and chomped into it with glee. Taffy laughed. Yum! She grabbed her fins, strapped them on, and followed Sealy through the warm waves. The first day of school might have been over, but the real adventure was just beginning. The afternoon sun sparkled over the warm, shallow waters outside of Dogger Falls. Sealy and Taffy swam side by side through gentle waves, their fins creating small ripples. Around them, new mangrove trees towered up from the sandy seabed, the roots twisting and curling like underwater spaghetti. Taffy adjusted her snorkel and marveled at the vibrant ecosystem. Crabs skittered along roots, tiny fish darted through shadowy tangles, and clams popped open with curiosity. Sealy scribbled observations into a waterproof notepad strapped to his fin. Taffy grinned. It's a whole community down here. I can't believe how fast this forest appeared. Sealy beamed. Right? I've already counted 15 new species of tide snail alone. This is beyond possum. Sealy squealed with excitement. Ah, oh my gosh, look! These roots, they're practically doing gymnastics. Taffy laughed, ducking under a twisting root. Ooh, I just read about these. They're called, pneumatophores. They breathe, they're breathing roots. They stick up like snorkels to pull in air. Isn't that cool? That's right, pneumatophores. Totally cool, said Sealy. Hey, do you think they can smell us? I don't think they have noses, said Taffy thoughtfully. But maybe they sense us. I'm pretty sure plants have awareness in their own way. This made her think about the special tree in the park in Luctopolis. They definitely exhibited some interesting behavior, and Cloudy seemed to think that trees send messages. She thought about telling Sealy about the golden glowing cone thingamajig, but she was immediately distracted as they floated deeper into the mangrove forest. The murky water turned into shades of emerald and even amber. Fish darted between roots and strange little creatures peeked out of tiny burrows. The salt glands of the tree leaves sparkled like glitter in the sun. A soft shimmer pulsed through the water just ahead of them. From between two mangrove trunks, Babah Lava Buttabuh appeared, their limbs drifting gently like kelp in a slow current. They gave a small glowing nod toward Taffy and Sealy. Taffy's eyes lit up. Even though Sealy had met Babah before, it was Taffy who shared a special bond with them ever since their first encounter. Babah made plenty of noises, as you may remember, but the Abba family didn't speak aloud like most beings on Dogland. They communicated through mental telepathy, a way of sending thoughts and feelings directly into someone's mind, like a cozy, quiet whisper conversation. Taffy had grown used to it over time and always found it comforting, like a warm current guiding her thoughts and always answering her questions. Sometimes even questions she had yet to fully form. Taffy heard Babah's voice inside her mind, warm and musical. "Hello again, brilliant explorers. You've grown even more curious. I could feel it from the coral beds." Taffy smiled and nodded. She loved how Babah's thoughts always felt like they came with color and scent, this time like glowing sea foam and beachy wind. "Hello, Babah, I've missed you." "What is it that's driving your curiosity today?" they asked her in her mind. "We are studying sea forests and communities for school. As you know, Sealy is very happy to study these new mangrove forests, and I am excited to go study the coral forests. And yes, I know that they are not a forest made of trees," she added. "Oh, these trees speak, you know. Not like we do, not like you do. They speak tree tongue, language of roots, of rhythm, of time." Taffy's interest peaked. Tree tongue? You mean trees have, like, conversations? They sing, really, in frequencies too slow or deep for most ears. But they speak in pulses, and sometimes in dreams. My little marine fungi help them too. Babah floated over to what looked like some dead branches and waved a blobby appendage over some tiny silver spots, and the spots almost instantly sprouted into glowing, silky white little mushrooms. Taffy gasped at the lovely sight. Sealy looked between them, sensing something was going on, though he couldn't hear Babah's thoughts. "Is Babah saying something?" he asked. Taffy nodded, eyes wide with wonder. "They're telling me that the trees are talking." Sealy blinked. "The mangroves? Whoa! I wonder what they're talking about." Taffy put a paw bean up in the air as she felt Babah's whisper begin again. "My kind has guarded such places across the galaxies. We are listeners, healers. We protect the spores, and they remember. We watch for changes and help when life sings out for balance." Taffy found this to be fascinating. "Ooh, I'd love to hear more about this, Babah. Could you join me and Sealy as we swim out to the coral forest tomorrow night and tell me more as we go?" She wondered if Babah knew something about tree tongue that might help with the cone thingamajig that the cloud dragon had said was a message from the special tree in Luctopolis. Babah beamed and nodded their blobby head up and down to indicate yes. Not only had Babah learned to whisper talk into Taffy's mind, but Babah had learned to gesture a little bit with Taffy's help, and they very much enjoyed this new ability. "I like this thing you call studying or investigating. My family does too. We're conducting a study together." Taffy tilted her head. "Oh? What is it that the Abba family is studying?" We're trying to understand the nature of the rainbow bubble dome that surrounded your cat island of Meowie not too long ago. Oh, she exclaimed with a little ripple of chills rolling across her skin and under her fur. I'm pretty sure that was called a dragon ball. That's what the head scene shifter dragon said. We think that Fred and the dragons of Draconis created it with dragon magic. Oh, we are very familiar with strange rainbow bubbles and portals. But this was no dragon magic, and we are concerned. We do not believe that this Fred had such powers, and we are not aware of any souls throughout the Dogmos that do. Oh, that is concerning, she thought back to them. Do you think I should be sharing this information with our grown-ups? The concept of grown-ups was a tough one for Babah to understand, and Taffy had run into this sticky confusion with Babah before, so she wasn't surprised when Babah got extra blobby and showed off their newish ability to shrug. Then she heard Sealy gasp, and she whirled around to see him gaping at a small cove of shimmering, glowing, and pulsing, glittery smushrooms. Oh, wow, she exclaimed, her mouth hanging wide open. The smushrooms were big and brown, like the ones they'd seen inside the Dogger Falls Cathedral Cave, where the Abbas had made their home. But they were glittery and glowing, and the pulsing, it seemed to have a musical beat to it, like a funky heartbeat. Are these your smushrooms, Babah? She asked with her eyes as wide as the largest mushroom cap. Babah made their version of a big, gooey smile and answered, Yes, we are growing these mushrooms for the trees. For the trees? She asked. She thought mushrooms were units of energy, for like animals, and she remembered how they grew near special galactic portals. After all, that was how they ended up on a galactic farting cow named Taylor. Taylor the swiftly tooting cow. Yes, we grow the mushrooms by the portals. And yes, that is how we summoned and powered Taylor, answered Babah, which surprised Taffy as she hadn't meant to telegraph those thoughts over to them. Could Babah just read everyone's minds? She wondered, and then she felt embarrassed for thinking that, just in case they could read all thoughts from any soul. Do you know what mushrooms and even mushrooms do for trees, Taffy? Taffy shook her head slowly no. She knew a little bit about mushrooms, and she loved the way many of them tasted. She absolutely loved the mushroom, dirt, vanilla, and gummy worm pizza at Intergalactic Pizza Party back in Lactopolis, for example. Babah continued, They form tiny threads that connect the roots of trees and plants. They share nutrients, send messages, even warnings. They help forests survive and thrive. They make an underground web of wisdom. The mushrooms here are babies for all of the trees on Dogland. This is an energy nursery. Taffy's heart thumped with excitement. A secret root network beneath everyone's paws, whispering across time? Amazing! A plan to help all of the trees, maybe even the great tree? Wonderful! Sealy swam closer to them and piped up. Okay, what wonderful knowledge is Babah dropping on you? Oh, Sealy, this is a mushroom nursery for all of the trees on Dogland, she exclaimed. Oh, snap! He barked excitedly. Does that mean there is a portal here in the heart of the mangrove forest? No portal here, she heard Babah answer. Not yet. Then Babah looked up to the sky, and Babah's body changed colors all over, with a rainbow rippling across their blobular self. You all right, Babah? Asked Sealy. Babah pointed their appendages skyward while transmitting to Taffy. A storm comes. Please, dog friends, go take cover before it rolls in. Oh, she said as she too looked up. It was hard to think about the sky while being so deep in the mangrove forest, but it was getting noticeably darker with clouds that had been nowhere in sight when they got there. Babah smells a storm. Oh, barked Sealy as he too looked up. Well, we probably have just enough time to get back to the tide pool dorms before we're caught in it. Thanks, Babah. See you tomorrow night, Babah telegraphed to Taffy's mind. Yes, tomorrow, the coral, she answered him out loud as Sealy nodded in agreement. Babah pressed their blobby appendages together, nodded, and gurgled as the two pups turned tails and headed back to the Dogland Seas Institute. As Taffy lay in her hammock bed, all safe and sound, she looked out the windows of her seaside dorm room. Thick clouds had rolled in. The wind had picked up, howling past the rock cliffs nearby. A sudden downpour began, rain hammering against the dorm's windows like a drumming octopus. Lightning flashed across the sky, followed by deep rolling thunder that shook the walls. As exciting as it was for her to storm watch, she was utterly distracted by the questions buzzing in her mind after talking to Babah. Tree tongue, singing roots, mushrooms and smushrooms. Her mental notes were bursting, and so was her imagination. Tomorrow, she whispered to herself. More mysteries, more magic, more science, mangroves, portals, coral forests. She drifted off to sleep, dreaming in pulses and song. All right, Hank, you got some sea jokes for me?
I probably have something to tide you over.
Nice. What is your sea-cret?
Oh, I just keep calm and let the ideas flow like the tides.
Well, Hank, I think that is fantastic. It's always good to have a really great sense of humor. I'm sure you've got more up your sleeve.
I sure do.
Okay.
Why did Sealy cross the road?
Why?
To get to the other tide. What did the ocean say to the shore?
What?
Nothing. It just waved.
You're making quite the splash with these. See you next tide, everyone.
Stay curious, not shellfish, and to stay dry.
Bye. Thank you, listeners. If you liked what you heard, you can see more content at our website, PowerDogAdventures, all one word.com. There you can sign up for our infrequently emailed newsletter and also submit any good dog jokes. And we'll be forever grateful if you feel like telling your friends about the show too. If you are looking for more great shows, then please check out the other members of Kids Listen, a grassroots organization dedicated to high-quality audio for kids and families. There are well over 100 great shows to find there. Ask your grown-up to check out kidslisten.org to find out more. Special thanks to our creative partner, the inimitable Jason Rourke, who makes these stories sound extra good with his wise counsel, recording, sound design, and even original music. This podcast has been made possible in part by funding provided by the Regional Arts and Culture Council in Portland, Oregon. Thank you, RAC. It has been made even more possible by listeners like you. Thank you so much for your support. We are not joking even a little when we say we could not do this without you. The Adventures of Power Dog and Dogland is created in the ancestral lands of the Cowlitz, Multnomah, Kathlamet, Clackamas, Tumwater, Tualatin Kalapuya, Wasco, Molalla, Watlala, bands of the Chinook, and other indigenous nations and tribes of the first people who made their homes along the rivers here in what is now called Portland, Oregon. And special thanks to our own Granny and Gramps who helped us write and record our Power Dog theme song. Hey, Granny and Gramps, what key did y'all say that's in?
It's in D for Dogland. won't give up. Our dog, he won't give up. Chases problems till they're done. Our dog, he won't give up. When we're chasing danger and we're riding across the seas, sure he's right there leading us up, barking with the seals. Our dog, he won't give up. Our dog, he won't give up. Chases problems till they're done. Our dog, he won't give up. When we're chasing trouble and we're riding across the scars, sure he's right there beside us, just holding our paws. Our dog, he won't give up. Our dog, he won't give up. Chases problems till they're done. Our dog, he won't give up. When we're chasing trouble and we're zooming through the stars, sure he's right there beside us, just a zapping near and far. Our dog, he won't give up. Our dog, he won't give up. Chases problems till they're done. Our dog, he won't give up. When we're plugging a volcano or we're straddling a storm, our dog is right beside us at every little turn. Our dog, he won't give up. Our dog, he won't give up. Chases problems till they're done. Our dog, he won't give up. At night his fennec foxes, in the days his platypuses. We herd them up and whoop them down. Our dog's right beside us. Come with me to Dogland, we've got special tales to tell. And when we come together, all our tails will wag as well. So come with me to Dogland, we've got special tales to tell. And when we come together, all our tails will wag as well. Woof, woof, wow.